Did it wake out?
Yes.
You're live.
I'm live, but I think the focusing is gonna keep.
They said it's a lighting difference, and that's why. That's what one of the people said that was watching this last time.
Are they gonna criticize us right now?
Don't criticize us. Hi. Hello. Okay.
All right. So. Let me get my time. So we're cooking.
Who's cooking?
Camera. We're cooking. I feel so strange. Okay, so I'm gonna look at that over there.
Okay. Okay.
Don't pair with my phone. See, it comes in and out of focus. So, okay, so what we're gonna talk about today is the comfort levels of wives and potentials in polygyny.
Yes.
Yes. So, we're making tacos. This is on my page and it's private. I'm just trying to get the angle, the stuff right. Okay.
You have to fix it. No, wait, how?
Damn. I heard myself talking a second ago.
What?
And I was lost there for a moment.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. So, this video again is about the comfort levels of wives and potentials in polygyny. Why do I feel like I'm looking the wrong way?
I don't know. Look at the dot.
I don't want to. I'm scared. Okay.
She like playing a song no one hears.
That's why I was looking. Yes, it's trap. Like, what's it called? Trap children's songs. Don't know where the kids found this.
Yay! Okay, so yes, we're cooking today. We're making tacos today. Make our taco shells from scratch, etc., etc.
Taco shells from scratch?
I mean, from semi-homemade.
Oh, I'm like that.
Not scratch.
Yeah, scratch. No shameless plugs. Get out. I knew he was coming.
I knew he was coming.
Where my water? Come on back.
Start spraying people, and I am cooking.
I spray children.
I am cooking with the oil, not spraying children.
All right, so comfort levels of potentials and wives in polygyny.
Yes.
So, first things first. In polygyny, husbands do not sleep with potentials. It happens. It makes things complicated, and if you can avoid that, avoid it.
Avoid it, because in some of these belief systems, you do that, you are a wife now. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
that's true.
So
and yeah,
you want to make sure
we go together now.
Yeah,
basically what happens.
Don't do that. We understand people are humans, and sometimes it happens, but try to avoid it if you can. Yes. But we talking about comfort though. Comfort.
I don't like hearing about wives basically putting themselves out there in a way that they shouldn't have to put themselves out there for someone that might not be around that long.
Yes. I hear you.
I'm trying to talk without talking.
We're trying to talk without talking. Okay.
It's hard.
When it comes...
Because I got to get my...
Yeah, dude.
I got to do my shells.
Yeah. So, there it goes. I'm backing up because I don't know why it's doing that. I'm going to stay over here. All right. When it comes to courting, a lot of women, regardless of being potential or being a wife or wives, they feel different levels, varying levels of discomfort in the situation because often they're new to each other, you know, and often you've got this man navigating between the two of them, and for an existing wife or wife, they typically aren't used to having to, you know, share him, having their access to him split
and restricted.
So they're not used to that. That's very common, you know. And so what ends up happening is there's certain things that she can't do anymore that she is used to being able to do. For example, calling him all the time, texting him, and things like that. Because as a wife, you've had access to him 100% of the time. But during courting and things like that, in the advent of a potential or even another wife. Sorry. How about you take a bowl? There you go, honey. You know, that's going to restrict her time and things are going to change. So, shalom, Natai. How are you? So, you've got that on that side. You've got the potential coming in, and sometimes a lot of the time when it comes to us coming into polygyny and things like that, a lot of us, it's our first time ever doing such a thing. So the potential often doesn't know how to navigate herself. Stop that, computer. Doesn't know how to navigate herself in relation to this man who is in fact a married man, whether he has one or more wives. He's a married man and she doesn't know how to navigate that situation. Both parties don't typically know how the other party feels. So the wife or wives, sometimes they don't know how the potential is feeling in this situation, and the potential doesn't know how the wife is feeling in these situations. And so if they are good women, if they are righteous women and selfless women, they're going to go out of their way to try to make each other feel comfortable. And sometimes that happens without knowing exactly what could make a person comfortable versus uncomfortable. So they try, and what else? I don't know whose that is. I think it belongs to a child.
Oh, me? Yeah.
Are you using that?
I was cleaning it out and
Are you gonna do ice cream?
So.
She's gonna use it for ice
You can
cream.
throw it in the trash. We have hundreds of those.
Okay. I'll use it for.
Oh, for that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll just clean it
That's
out.
plastic.
Listen,
Is that gonna work?
I'm over here. You talking to the people.
I'm
over
scared.
here. See, she all over here.
Oh my God.
See what I'm saying? Comforts.
I'm sorry. So sometimes people they'll do things for each other, and it'll be a little bit, I guess, on some level, considered as an overkill. Right? Like, for instance. Oh, I don't know.
Talk without talking.
A wife typically, if she likes the potential, she wants the potential to come in. So sometimes what she'll do is she's going to, what do you call it? I'm calling it acquiesce to the potential and what her needs are and what she thinks her needs are. She's going to be sending the husband that way. She's going to, do her best not to bother them during their times together. She's going to try to take a back seat and things like that. Okay? So, and it's like, get in the car and get her the front seat kind of thing. Mm-hmm. If the three are going somewhere. So that happens. And that might not always be the thing that's needed. So when it comes to that kind of stuff, and even from the other end, the potential will do things to, make the wife feel comfortable. They might have an argument about that front seat and who's gonna sit there. You know what I mean? Who's gonna sit next to him on the couch? They might have an argument about that, even though it's a couch and more than one person can sit next to him. But still, these things happen, all because people are trying to make each other feel comfortable. Sometimes what has to happen,
Push this.
the pot. In those situations, I gave you the bowl, baby. Put the chopped tomatoes in.
I've been texting. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you got to stop texting.
I'm sorry.
How many
Texting
tomatoes?
while cooking.
Texting while cooking is a no-no, but making videos during
It's
cooking
totally
is okay.
acceptable.
It's totally acceptable. It's a
It's
total double
acceptable.
standard. But but yeah, chop those up. Put the tomatoes in the bowl, and then you can have more space.
I can.
Okay. So what needs to happen is when you come into polygyny, all right, you're already going to learn a lot about yourself and others and things like that. So what typically needs to happen is people have to be very transparent. They need to sit down and they have a conversation. Now, what these conversations look like may vary, but the goal is to find out what makes people comfortable and what makes people uncomfortable. And everybody has to be very transparent about themselves, what makes them uncomfortable and what makes them comfortable. And they also have to be very, very able to listen to the other person. We suggested recently to some people what the Myers-Briggs. We like the Myers-Briggs personality test. We did it over here, the three of us, and the children have done it too, and everybody know who everybody is and who they're dealing with. I've done the 5 love languages before. Have you ever done that before?
I don't do all that stuff.
You haven't done it? You should do it. Why would you do it? Look.
You've done it?
I just take random personality test,
You just take
okay?
random personality
What's your
test?
color?
My color? What do you?
Did you do
Okay,
the
I've never
color?
taken colors.
On the love language test?
My
Oh,
love
what?
language, I think it's quality time.
Oh, quality time? Okay. I can see that. Look, I can see that. That's our daughter. So
You can't see me, but I'm cutting vegetables.
she's cutting vegetables. So, we suggested that they do these things, and then they'll be able to get some level of insight into who the other people are and things like that. My suggestion when it comes to, and people will say that they want one thing when they actually want another, but look at people's actions. We can talk and stuff like that and listen to the words, but definitely look at people's actions towards you and in certain situations and what might set them off or seems to set them off. You know what I mean? And just try not to do those things. But once you guys have had the talk, try to adhere to your stuff. A lot of people will say, just treat me like family, and they're not family yet, but they want to get an idea of your family. So in that case, you kind of want to do things the way y'all normally would do. You know what I mean? The first wife will tell the husband and the potential, I know y'all hold hands and stuff like that, feel free to do that around me. That's okay. I'm not going to have a problem with it. She said it.
Ain't nobody holding hands.
She's like, we're not doing anything.
Ain't nobody holding
We
hands.
don't do nothing. Okay? Understand.
I'm
We're
totally
going to
kidding.
sit
I'm
here.
totally kidding.
But yeah, whatever y'all normally do, go ahead and do it. And that should possibly make people feel comfortable. Just test the waters and see if it does. I mean, at that point, y'all going to start getting real more solidified and things like that. Just try not to overdo it. And if you feel like the other sister is overdoing it with you, you might want to say something. You might want to say, thanks, but you're overdoing that. I don't need you to do that much for me to feel comfortable. It's okay to say those types of things. You got to accept that. Okay, I'm doing too much. All right, cool, I'm going to back off and stop trying to do all this stuff, So, what else? Anything else?
Of course. It's always more.
You put seasoning in here
I'm
already?
about to right now.
What you about to put in there?
Everything in here.
What's this?
You better put that in there. Look,
Where the
put
cumin?
stuff in there. Wait,
I want cumin.
we couldn't find it
It's
last
lost. It's
time. Yeah, you
MIA.
can do whatever you want to it. I didn't put my stuff in there.
I gotta smell stuff. What is this? This ain't cumin. This is
That's
curry.
curry.
It says it's curry. Some stuff don't say what it is, but this say it's curry. Some of them don't say anything. Like, just for an example, doesn't say anything.
All right, here, I
But
got
this
something.
is chili powder.
You,
I'll put chili powder.
I put my stuff in already.
Okay.
So here's another thing, potentials or women that are looking to enter into polygynous situations and marriages with pre-existing couples. Don't go in there and you treat this as if this is a monogamous man. This man is married with a family, and so therefore you yourself have to guard your own modesty. Don't give too much of yourself.
Yeah.
And husbands, I'll say, you don't give too much of yourselves. Because when you're given everything, there's nothing else to look forward to. The same principles that apply before marriage, sex before marriage, and just being too common with each other before marriage, that kind of lessens the reasons of why I should marry you. For what? Why? You've given all of yourself to me already as it is. So.
Our husband calls that kind of stuff whoring out your family.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't do that. Don't give them everything. And then don't sit there and do it multiple times. Like after this one don't work out, don't sit there and do this 15 more times. Like,
yeah,
no.
no. Don't have a revolving door.
No.
You know.
You don't do that.
The pre-existing couple, if it exists, they need to establish the guidelines and boundaries. Like, hey, no kissing, no sexting.
Yeah.
I can say these words.
Absolutely. She knows what it is.
No sexting. No, just a whole bunch of things that they shouldn't do. And if that happens, that kind of like protects the family. That kind of she's frying the onions. It protects the family. It protects everybody involved, and it doesn't make you so common. And that's the goal. The goal is to enter into a family, create a family that is positive and healthy for all involved. And if you find yourself just being too common with each other, then there's no point of getting married. Why would I marry you when you've given me everything already?
And don't run away when things become problematic and stressful.
No, don't do that.
You gotta try to work it out. Even with a potential, I think y'all should see. And if you can't come to some level of agreement, then y'all can go.
Yes.
But otherwise, there's too many revolving door families in polygyny anyway. There's too many revolving door situations in polygyny anyway. Y'all should want to stop that.
People out there getting potentials pregnant and stuff.
Good Lord.
And doing all sorts of things that just don't need to happen and they shouldn't happen in this type of dynamic, especially if we're trying to be a little more elevated.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So would I suggest a chaperone? No. Let me tell you why. I'm rebellious enough to say that I'm going to take the lead from the man, and I'm going to set my own boundaries, and he's going to set his boundaries. But having a chaperone there, I'm almost 40 years old. I just don't know how that's going to work for me in my life. How about you?
A chaperone? I mean, that's part of the thing. Like, we over here, we're adults over here. And any potential courtships over here.
Lemon juice, baby. Lemon.
Lemon
Juice
for her?
Yes.
Lemon pumpkin.
Lemon juice on the onion. Listen. Lemon juice on the onion stops all of that. Here,
Okay, there you go, baby.
Pour it on the knife.
That's fine.
Look
She's her eyes.
Lord.
She's gonna die.
Look, I didn't pour
There
that.
you go.
You won't have that problem anymore. I'm so sorry.
But I can't do it because we're very much so adults. I guess if a single woman needed a chaperone, then perhaps.
How old are you, child?
Yes, depends on the age, child, what's gonna go on there. But you know what I was thinking about today?
What was you thinking about today?
We really need a council of elders, and I think just every group needs a council of elders of some sort, because like polygynous people need it, and I know Muslim people say they have that. And I know Hebrew Israelites in certain groups, they say they have that. But often what I find is certain people not being held accountable for that action.
No, because they just feel like I'm in my house. I'm man. This is my house.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to do what I want to do. And until that type of mentality is dealt with, having elders doesn't matter, because we know situations where men have had elders.
Yeah.
And it didn't change nothing.
It didn't change anything.
It didn't change anything.
You know.
People just need to be grown and accountable and respect the dynamic and stop playing with it.
Yeah. Definitely need to stop playing.
Especially when you got teenagers and children, you know what I mean? And if this is something that you want for yourself, then you're okay if your child enters into it. So you want it to have some type of rules and boundaries and accountability.
And you want it to look some level of righteous. You want it to look moral. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you don't want your children doing this, then you shouldn't do polygyny.
You shouldn't do polygyny.
Period. I don't believe in doing things. Uh-oh. What does that mean?
Talk to y'all later. Low battery means
low battery.
We've got
That's
to go.
Love y'all. We might come back because if y'all said anything, we didn't fully address it.
We're gonna watch it.
We're gonna watch
see
it.
what you guys said.
Yeah. All right. So peace out.
Are we gonna do the live
See,
sale?
look at that. The live sale. What's today?
Today's Thursday.
It's Thursday.
Okay, so we'll talk to y'all in a minute. And we'll figure this all out.
Okay.
Taco Thursdays.
Taco
Over
Thursday. Over
here
here in this house.
in the casa.
Bye. Shalom. Peace out. Here we go.
Salam alaikum.
Salam.